the New York Knicks. We are the New York Knicks.
Yo, what's good, Knicks Nation? Let's get it going. The New York Knicks would come into this one facing the Brooklyn Nets in Madison Square Garden, and once again from the jump, this one was even close. But first, we thought we would get a scare from Jalen Brunson when he hit Bridges' knees. They would collide knees up in midair. Jalen Brunson would go down, and you thought that you saw him grimacing, holding his knee. You thought he might not finish the game, but he muscled his way through. And in the end, Mikal Bridges didn't know that he activated Super Saiyan Jalen Brunson because he would drop 30 points in the first half, go 12 for 14 from the field. Ultimately, Brunson would end the game with 39 points to go 15 from 18. But we're not gonna finish with that, all right? Because guess what? The New York Knicks would not only put up 47 in the first quarter, they put up 81 points in the first half. But of course, the New York Knicks can't make this thing easy. They come out in the third quarter. You see them slowing down a little bit. The defense wasn't as intense. Instead of the quick decision-making that they had, they were a little indecisive. But no worry. By the end of the third quarter, these guys started to kick it back up into gear, and ultimately we would have some smooth sailing. In the end, it was an overall great team effort. Julius Randle with 21 points. Quentin Grimes finding his jumper once again with 22 points. Mitchell Robinson with another double-double. And we can't forget about R.J. Barrett, Emmanuel Quickley, and of course, Josh Hart. The Knicks would end up blowing out the New Jersey Swamp Dragons. The New Jersey Nets. Whoa. One more time. The Brooklyn Nets, 142 to 118. All right, let's get it going. I'm your host for tonight, Alex Gutierrez, a.k.a. the Stratocaster, and with me on the other side is JD Sports Talk. Some may call him JD Breen because he's been doing a phenomenal job on the play-by-play. Tonight, we're taking calls from the Discord only. And guess what? We're sponsored by Manscaped, Prize Picks. You know the drill. So let's get into this. JD, my man, how you feeling, bro? How you feeling tonight?
I don't know how I feel because I don't know if this is real. I do not know if what's currently happening with this New York Knicks team is real. And it's an unreal streak that they're on, the type of basketball that they're playing. I mean, they totally destroyed the Brooklyn Nets tonight. And I understand that this Brooklyn Nets does not have their usual superstars, but they have some key quality players that were just a season ago part of some playoff teams here with Finney-Smith with Dallas, Cam Johnson and Mikal Bridges in the NBA Finals, with the Phoenix Suns. So you're talking about still, even after the moves, the Nets being able to have a pretty competitive roster, at least on paper. And it did not mean anything to this New York Knicks team. To me, one of the most positive things of tonight is because of the recent run, tonight was viewed in some circles as a potential trap game, right? Like this is now the New York Knicks have entered territory to where certain games and certain matchups, we're looking at it as a potential trap game. Whereas before it would be just the even matchup. Now we may have trap games on our schedule. That goes to show you how well this team is playing. And even with those implications and, potential letdown, high emotional game against the Celtics, all this other stuff, they're still trying to get better and better at home. It did not mean anything to this current Knicks roster. They're going out there and they're playing like a legitimate playoff contending team with the way that they just manhandled the Nets. And most importantly, they did it at the Garden. And why do I say that's most important? It's because the Knicks, at least up until last
JD there? I guess JD might have frozen in time for a little bit, so we'll wait for when JD gets back. But look, JD's caught in the Matrix. I understand. Oh, there he is. JD's back. JD, you were caught in the Matrix for a little bit. You're back, man. I get it. You're just a little too excited about this Knicks win. You're feeling that hype. I get you, man. But go on. Let's hear the rest of it.
I don't know where I left off at before I went to the Matrix. I think we're all trying to see as how high we can go and jump with the way that they're playing. But I was basically pointing out how important it is for them to protect home court and to now become a home court team to where the Garden becomes a tough place to play. Because the way things are looking now, if this Knicks team is able to host the first round of the playoffs, then that means you have to be a strong home court team because the first 2 games of a 7-game series will be at the Garden. And the New York Knicks at this present time, they're playing Alex like they're not listening to the people talking about 5th seed. They're playing like they have plans to host the first round of the playoffs. And there's some things that happen tonight around the NBA that is putting them closer and closer to accomplishing that goal.
For sure. And we'll get into that. We'll get into that conversation later into the show. But make sure to hit those thumbs up button for your boys. Make sure to share all this audio and make sure to share the video clips. But JD, this team is just continuing to impress me, man. I mean, they are the fact that it's another wire-to-wire win, a blowout win, taking advantage of a team that is now, as Clyde and Breen are saying, a rebuilding team after they were supposed to be a championship contending team, the way that they started the season with KD and Kyrie and everybody else. It's good to see the Knicks are starting to gel at this point of the season because, and I said this in the roundtable for KnicksFanTV.com, and you're a Giants fan, and you know about getting hot at the right time, all right? And I'm still not saying that this team's going to be a championship. They're not there yet to be a championship contending team, but they're getting hot at the right time where it seems like they're about to make some noise. That's how it feels to me, man. That they're getting ready to make some noise in the playoffs. I mean, we have Josh Hart out here saying he's not just trying to make the playoffs, all right? They're trying to go on a little run over here. You know what I mean? So there's some confidence. You see it by the way that they're playing. You see it with Emmanuel quickly. He's consistently in double doubles, man. Consistently putting on being a two-way player. It's just like you look at him, you look at how Josh Hart is just bringing energy, another dynamic player coming off the bench. Between him and Quickly, you're not getting it through anybody on the perimeter. You know what I mean? And then with Mitchell Robinson on the way he's been playing, another double-double, like I said earlier in the show, he looks like he hasn't missed a beat. He was out for 4 weeks, and he looks like he's just fine. He's hustling up and down the court, getting blocks, doing some moves in the post. People are finding him with the entry pass, whether it's Randall, who had that sweet move with the spin move and then had a nice dump off pass for Mitch in the dunker spot. Like, that's the type of stuff that I'm liking to see from the team. That's confidence. The fact that they can start getting in that type of rhythm, I'm all here for it, man. It's just great to see.
And as you mentioned, first of all, you said, maybe they're not going to be a championship contender. Maybe you haven't been logging into Twitter because some fans are already jumping. I'm being tagged in tweets talking about further than I'm jumping. I'm being tagged in tweets talking about JD. We're going to the finals. Woo! Like, woo! Hold up. Let's take one step at a time. We'll get there. They're proven to be closer than some people may have thought, but at least with what you said with Josh Hart, the positive thing about that is I think he, as a young veteran, him saying that is to set the tone, right? There's a lot of young players here on the Knicks, and, he's a winner coming out of Villanova. It's about attitude and approach. And by you saying that, you're just sending a message to your team like, listen, this is the social media era. Don't set your sights on the 5th seed, or don't get complacent to be under the 6th seed. Let's aim higher. Let's not just be happy to make it to the first round just because we finished strong in the season. Like, that can't just be your ultimate goal, right? And I think that's leadership skills from Josh Hart. As far as Mitchell Robinson, 10 points, 12 rebounds, 1 block. 11 points, 13 rebounds, 1 block. 10 points, 13 rebounds, 2 blocks. And tonight, 13 points, 10 rebounds, 1 block. That is 4 straight double-doubles, along with a block or 2, along with more shots that he alters that are not on the box score. This is Mitchell Robinson since he has returned from injury. And what's most surprising about this to me, Alex, is he's doing it coming off an injury. Like, when you look at Mitchell Robinson's history, when he comes off an injury, it takes him a little time to get his conditioning, to get his timing. Sometimes he goes and he struggles a little bit, then he picks it back up. But it's like he never missed some time. He actually has gotten better. Like, how do you get better?
I don't even know how that's even possible, man. Man went into the hyperbolic time chamber. It came out a beast because, you're talking about it. He's continuing to alter shots. He's putting up double doubles 4 games in a row, just straight. But he looks locked in, man. You know what I mean? Like, we've seen Mitch in the past couple of seasons, and he still has like that quirky personality to him. But it was just like there was like something there that was like between the ears, where it's just like locking in, focusing, knowing what he has to do. And we're seeing the development of Mitchell Robinson before our eyes. We're seeing, a guy who is now giving you a double-double performance 4 games in a row. But he's just locked in, man. He knows where he needs to be. He's not fouling as much, which was the biggest issue when he was on the Knicks. He's so disciplined. And the things that we saw when he was a rookie, like the ability to block with both hands, right? His ability to just, his quickness on the pick and roll. That with the discipline, and now with a little bit of offense coming around, because even, it was just all dunks. Now it's not even just dunks. Like, he has just a good touch around the rim just to lay it in, even if he's a little far away from the basket. That's the type of stuff that, for Mitch, like, we talk about X factors left and right. Mitch, is he an X factor? Do you think this is an X factor, or you just think he's just a cog in the machine? Like, what are your thoughts on that?
To me, he's an X factor. He might not be an X factor depending on the team or the style of play that you play, right? But because of this current roster and the personnel that's on this team, and then the system and style that this head coach wants to play, he's an ultimate X factor. Because you saw before Mitch was there, there was so much more pressure on our perimeter defenders, and we were all talking about, how can this, defense improve once Mitch gets back, and how much better. Mitch being the quarterback of your defense also allows you to sacrifice your body more on the perimeter. If you're a guard, you're more willing to take charges. You're more willing to dive for loose balls. You're more willing to take risks in the passing lanes, because you know that, hey, if you just miss a rotation and the guy that just beat you goes to the basket, he has Mitch meeting you at the rim. You want to see the evidence? Just ask Jason Tatum. That's all you have to do. Ask Jason Tatum. Ask some of these guards ask Ja Morant. Ask some of these guards that have come to the paint and they meet Mitchell Robinson, what type of experience they have. It's not an easy one. And I think now, like, there's just something about this team right now. Mitch, it's like, maybe it's the Josh Hart acquisition where Mitch just looks more serious. It's like he's starting to really take serious his role of, Joakim Noah with the Chicago Bulls, these previous guys that are just key pieces to Tibbs' defense. He seems to now want to say, you know what? I'm really important for this team. Like, I need to step up, and having a Josh Hart there, having a Brunson there, I think these players now are starting to really ramp up their intensity, and you're seeing it out there on the court.
Yo, but let's talk about another guy who put up a good performance tonight, because it looked like he just got out of a slump. Quentin Grimes with 22 points, my man.
Hold on. Shout out to Edwin Torres in the chat. He just said something. And Mitch got paid.
Oh,
he got paid. Shout out to Edwin for pointing that out. How about that? Just to end the Mitch thing. He got paid above everything. How does like the Mitch personality, a little goofy here and there, Twitter, TikTok, and all that, he got the bag.
Yeah.
And yet he seems like he's playing for a contract.
We'll get that. The contract theory of just, you get the bag and you don't perform. Man said, I would get the bag, perform, and get more money. And that, I think he did say something along those lines, but kudos to Mitch for that type of performance. But getting back to Quentin Grimes, man. 6 for 9 from downtown, 8 for 12 from the field. Got you 3 rebounds, 1 assist, 22 points. It's good to see Quentin Grimes finally getting out of his shooting slump, because to me, he's an X factor when you talk about going to the late to the late stages of the season, thinking about playoffs, because his 3-point shooting is critical. You know, he hasn't been shooting the ball that well prior to the All-Star break, and even coming back from the All-Star break, he was struggling a little bit. You see him, he was like the indecisiveness to let it rip. You saw Julius Randle before All-Star saying, yo, man, if I'm passing it to you and like you're open, just take the shot, right? And you see that he would be like, oh, maybe I should drive right now, look for somebody else, keep the ball moving. And like it's like it happens to like all athletes, right? Where it's just like you sometimes get out of rhythm, you're overthinking. But tonight didn't seem like that at all. He was like, I know what I'm going to do tonight. They give me space, I'm going to knock it down. And he had the confidence today because he was knocking it all down, man. It didn't seem like he was going to miss for a minute. So it's good to see Quentin Grimes coming back out here dropping 22 points because, like I said, he's going to be critical for the last stretch of this season. And you talk about playoffs.
How about them 6 threes?
Man.
Yeah, I mean, this looked like the rising stars, Quentin Grimes,
Right?
tonight, where it's like, you know, they turned back the video of that game and said, you know, let's get him going. And they definitely made it. It definitely seemed like, you know, after last game where he didn't even take a shot in the first half.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I was doing the live play-by-play, and I pointed that out in terms of, you know, why are we not getting him going? You know, and I understand we're winning, but in the end, he's a starter, and starters are all important to your team. And so, you know, him being able to have the type of game he had tonight, 6 threes, man, like that's very important. And you continue to see glimpses of other skill sets of his arsenal, of his game, that you hope, you know, with time you develop slowly and he can become more of a complete 2 guard, where that makes it even more dangerous, man. Like, you know, and these little performances here, you know, RJ tomorrow, Grimes today, this is what is so intriguing about this current team, because it's crazy how they're playing right now. And you can make the argument we haven't even seen close to their potential, because there's still players on this roster that you're encouraging consistency. And it's like, what's this team going to look like once you start getting that? And with Grimes, you know, I like that they made effort to get him going tonight, and he certainly responded. And I like that he responded at home, because we need those type of players to play well at the Garden. So great game by Grimes, the defense as well. And I think Grimes, and we'll get to Randle, but I think Grimes' performance had a lot to do with Randle as well. And that's going to be a lot of credit to Randle that I'm going to give here in a moment.
For sure. So let's talk about Julius, man, because we're going to say Captain Clutch for the last portion of players that we got to talk about, because Julius Randle had another solid performance tonight, man. He's been good after the All-Star break. He went 7-15 tonight, 4 for 8 from downtown, 3 for 5 from the free throw line, 8 rebounds, 8 assists, 21 points. Man. All NBA? Is he on an all NBA team?
Absolutely. He has to be at least second team. Absolutely. It's crazy because you look at his stats. Yeah, I might make the argument I learned so much more from him today than in many other games. And I'm going to tell you why. This happened against the Nets. Competition is going to get even better. And when the playoffs start, and yes, I'm saying playoffs because let's keep it a buck. We're starting to now look into what this team could look like in the playoffs. Like it's the thoughts now are starting to creep in, the possibilities, the dreams and all that stuff. And when you look at Julius previously with the Knicks against the Hawks team, I'm telling you, when the playoffs start, they're going to test his ability to pass the basketball. And he made a couple of great passes to Quentin Grimes that showed me development. It showed me that he has it in him to make great plays as a leader and as a dominant player. And those plays are going to be important because when the playoffs start, those are the type of plays he's going to have to make. I understand the scoring and everybody's going to get hype about the scoring and bro, stars and good players become great players become superstars in the playoffs by doing the other things. What you are expected to do, teams are going to counter. I mean, they're going to game plan against you for a 7-game series. You're going to have to show other things in your game. And Randall did that tonight. Only 15 shots. He was fine with only taking 15 shots. Still was able to shoot 50% from 3 and gave you 8 assists. And again, you saw the chemistry with Grimes. So that to me is important because you're going to need that from him come playoff time if the Knicks are going to make a run.
Yeah, and that Randall Grimes connection is kind of reminiscent of that 2 seasons ago with the Reggie Bullock, right? Looking for that guy on the perimeter who can knock down the 3. And that's why, to me, Grimes is an X factor because that 1-2 punch is what you're looking for because they're going to focus on Julius Randle, who can go downhill, who can work the paint. He can now shoot the 3 ball very well. But still, when you have to double team, triple team Randle, that means there's got to be someone who's got to pass it out to and can be reliable to knock down that open 3. And that is going to be Quentin Grimes for the most part. And so when you see what Randall's doing and what you're talking about, the awareness, the adjustment to his game, that is taking it to another level. That's what stars are supposed to do, as you talked about. The fact that he can start doing this, and it's a better team now than he had 2 seasons ago and last season too. The fact that he can do this though, that's why it's encouraging to see him going towards the end of the stretch of this season, be like 8 assists, 8 rebounds. He's contributing in other ways to still make an impact on the court. That's what stars are supposed to do. Let's see if he can continue that because I would like to see him do that in the playoffs. And this is the redemption, right? This is going to be his redemption season where you go into the playoffs, you got shook the first time. Let's see what you can do this time. And I'm a little confident that it'll be better just because you got this guy I'm about to bring up, Jalen Brunson, man. Jalen Brunson, Captain Clutch. This guy had a rough couple of games coming out of the All-Star break. He wasn't shooting efficiently, but he was still getting to the line, getting his points. But tonight, you thought he was going to get hurt. I was like holding my breath. I was like, you can see the pain in his face. He's like trying to run it out. He got up after being knocked down, and he went back down. Like he leaned over, curled over, whatever you want to call it. And you're just like, oh, not the point guard, not the guy who's been leading this team. But then he decides to say, you know what? Let me show you how I'm okay. Let me just drop 39 real easy, go 15 for 18 from the field, 5 of 6 from downtown with 6 assists, 5 rebounds, plus 23 on the night. Jalen Brunson for you, ladies and gentlemen. My goodness. There's not enough words I could say about this guy, man, because he just continuously shows he's unstoppable when he's in his bag. The footwork, the strength, the intelligence, everything, his motor, his ability to change speed. It was all on display tonight. All on display. 3-level score, you name it, he did it.
What does he have to do for people to realize that we have a star on this team? Oh, wait. Julius Randle, according to people, has to do it in the playoffs. This guy here has already done it in the playoffs. This guy eliminated this very same player that we might play in the first round this season. So if that matchup happens, you think I'm going to be scared? No way. So, I look around the league when I see, when you see on Twitter, you see these nice numbers that other players have, Trae Young and all that. And I'm like, how? This guy is a star. All these guys you want to compare him to are 7, 8, 9 seeds play-ins and they're stars. But then what is Jalen Brunson? Because he's impacting winning. And here's the other thing. You can say what you want against the Nets. How about the matchup against an all-NBA defender, 6'6", 6'7", Mikal Bridges? Wait, hold on. Because I played basketball before. Isn't it, all I hear, isn't it supposed to be that when you play a player, he scored 40 on you, and you're a great defender, the next time you play that same player, you're supposed to play better against him. He's not supposed to still do what he did to you tonight. And Everybody wants to hype up all these other guys, and Jalen Brunson can't do this against guys that are 6'7" and this and that in the fourth. I was looking towards this game tonight because of that same reason. Jalen Brunson doing what he did last time to the Nets. What are the adjustments this game? It's still the 6'7" Finney Smith. It's still Cam Johnson. It's still Mikal Bridges. Dinwiddie at the guard position is a tall point guard at 6'5". Like, what type of adjustments are both teams going to make? And it did not matter. It did not matter. 30 points in the first half. He is only this. Listen to this. He's only the 6th player in NBA history with at least 35 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, 5 threes, while shooting 80% from the field in a game, as he was 15 of 18 tonight. I mean, he's not a star.
The disrespect is real, man.
Superstar, you know, we could have a conversation about that after the playoffs this year, you know, but he has to be, this might be the biggest snub of all time.
Oh, 100%.
So the biggest takeaway that's going to continue to, I think he's going to stamp to the Knicks fan base, is he's showing you fans that when the playoffs start, y'all don't got to be scared. Last year, when we had Elfrid Payton going up against Trae Young, yeah, we was nervous. I'm not nervous anymore. We can have discussions about what teams are better than us. We can have discussions about, you know, matchups, fine. But in terms of this guy being able to come through, I am 100% confident that Brunson's going to continue this play. And when the playoffs begin, I think he's going to take it to another level. I think he's going to show up. And I think he's going to stamp an outstanding season so far.
Oh, man. This Brunson always finds a way. Somehow, some way, he'll always find a way. But salute to Knicks Nation. Let's reset and get ready for this. Thank you all for tuning in for Knicks Fan TV post-game live. The New York Knicks just defeated the New Jersey Swamp Dragons 142-118. All right. Tonight, we're only taking calls from the Discord, so make sure to call in through there. And for the first, and you know what? We're going to have to start this off a little spicy first, all right? This guy's been a little MIA, you know? He's a little MIA, but he's been in the VIP section, waiting to come on, ready to hear what he's got to say. He's 1/3 of the Toxic Boys. We got Ari from Manhattan on the line. Ari, are you there, my man?
Yeah, you guys hear me?
Yes, sir. What's going on, bro?
Oh, man, bro. Listen, man, there's a war going on outside. No man is safe from right now, bro. It's getting crazy on these Twitter streets, man. I feel like it's COVID 2020. Everyone's throwing tomatoes at me. I'm on defense. They're coming after me, man. They're coming after me. But listen, man, the Knicks are playing well. This is not the direction I think would be. I don't think this is the direction that I think is going to be as the most advantage to us in the long term. But if this is the direction we're taking, we're executing very well right now. This team is different than the 2020 team. Is that we have Jalen Brunson. We're obviously, quickly he's balling out. Like, this is the best team we've had since 2013. I think we could all agree to that. But at the end of the day, man, we need to build something sustainable over time. There's a lot to be happy about. I hope we win the first round series because, in my opinion, winning the first round series would be a success for this team. Like, if we won one series and then lost, I could be like, all right, I was wrong. We shouldn't have blown it up. Like, we improved on the 2020 season, right? We're developing. Like, we're good, right? But if we lose in the first round, that was essentially my prediction before the season started, and now you only have you lost a first round pick because you traded it for Josh Hart, right? The reason why I'm happy right now is different than most people, right? The reason why most people are happy right now is because the Knicks are winning, we're playing really good ball, and that's something to be happy about. I'm not saying it's not. But the real reason why I'm happy is because all of the contracts on our books are net positive right now. Randall rehabbed his value, right? Quickly's great contract. Brunson's playing over his contract, right? Mitchell Robinson, like everyone is net positive on the contract side, right? We have pretty much all the draft picks we've had. Obviously, we gave up one for Josh Hart, but we still didn't mortgage the farm, right? So we still have the draft picks as well, okay? And the team is playing well, so the future is bright. But I don't want to. I don't want to like fall. I don't want to just like be happy to be here. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not trying to, be a participation guy, right? The goalpost should be moved further. We should have higher expectations. In 2020, we had only Julius Randle, nobody else. We had 1-year contracts. We didn't invest in any players back then, right? We had more draft picks back then, right? That was a pleasant surprise. But the Knicks are supposed to be better right now. We did sign Jalen Brunson to a $100 million contract. We did extend Julius Randle, right? We did fucking pay RJ Barrett. Excuse me.
Whoa. Family show.
All right, family show. But I'm saying we invested that money. This team is supposed to be better right now, right? And I'm happy it is. It's proved me wrong this year. But we need to like, if we're trying to win now, we trade in draft picks for Josh Hart. We're trying to win now. Let's win now. We don't have to make the Eastern Conference Finals. Give me one playoff series win. I'm satisfied. But if we're gonna win now, let's win now, man. Thank you for the call, guys. Great work as always.
Appreciate you, Ari. And that is Ari from Manhattan. Ladies and gentlemen, I present that to you for the vote. 1 being trash, 5 being facts. Let's see where the ratings go.
They made some pasta plates out of him in the chat.
We're making tomato sauce. We can make a pizza. We can make some ragu. We can make a lot of things, man. We got a lot of tomatoes, a lot of ones.
I mean,
some threes. I see some threes. It's all over the place right now.
I think Ari's almost there.
There's some pies. I see that.
I felt Ari like he's almost there. By the way, Ari has this mindset because I know, the background of the field he's in. So the whole investment thing. And so he has that mindset to a lot of things. But I personally saw Ari game 1. Oh
yeah, we were there for that.
That same team, that he, he wanted to blow up. He was very excited about, when Cam made that shot. He was loving it. So
Cam made that shot. Ari was right there cheering with us.
I know he catches a lot of heat about the fan, but I saw him personally get hype about the Knicks almost pulling off that opening day victory, opening day matchup against the Grizzlies. Now, I think, listen, this could actually turn out to be great. If he talked about the contracts and all that stuff. If Julius Randle plays well in the playoffs, that's even going to become a better situation for him because around the league he's going to be stamped as a star. And here's the other thing. Do you see what's going on in Dallas? Do you know who has that pick?
Yes, sir. I'm glad that you brought that up.
The Wizards just won yesterday. You know who has that pick if they make the play-in and the playoffs? The Knicks. So the Knicks could actually be in a situation where they go to the playoffs and make a little run, and they can get 2 draft picks out of it. Where you have options now. You can draft those players, continue to add depth, allows you now to be creative in a trade if you want to go that route. Like there's something being created here as long as they continue to play well. Obviously, you want your assets to continue to be to continue to rise in value. Right now, it's just hard to criticize what they're doing. And here's the other thing too: does Leon Rose is he in the running for Executive of the Year? Could that be possible? Josh Hart move, Jalen Brunson contract. Best free agent signing of the offseason?
I think for that, in all honesty, for that, if the Knicks get Cleveland in the first round and the Knicks beat Cleveland, I think that's a lock. In my opinion. You can have
and then you beat the person that tried to fleece you. You beat that guy.
Yeah.
I know that's not Danny Ainge, but the players is on the other side. And then the thing about Brunson is his contract, it's descending, and he is ascending as a player. So Crazy. As he gets better as a player, the contract increases, and the cap continues to go up.
It's insane, bro. So you mentioned the Mavs pick. Did you mention the Washington pick as well? Because I'm keeping eyes on that one. That's the second pick because we traded ours. It's top 14 protected that we gave to Portland, but the other pick is Washington. Right now they're 10. They're in the play-in, okay? I checked Tankathon earlier today. The pick is still in the lottery, so we wouldn't get it if it was if the season ended today. But if they somehow become the 8th seed, you get the Mavs pick and Washington's pick in this year's draft that's supposed to be considered a deep draft, now you're starting to look like you're playing chess out here, not checkers.
Facts.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Well, we got some super chats that we got to shout out. First of all, Tizzy73, we are the New York Knicks. Salute. Thank you for the $5 super chat. We also got another super chat from Ronald Hansley Jr. Alexa, play Jay-Z, Run This Town. Oh, yeah, I'm feeling that one. We also got another super chat from the R. Where are the Tib haters at now? I'm not jumping out the window. I'm off the building. Hashtag 50. That's a $10 super chat. So I think he's saying, JD, that he wants you to pull out the grill, man, because we're trying to get some 50 burgers around here. You seen those articles and those tweets around there saying that as of right now, they're on a 53-win pace? Do you see those articles? Do you see those tweets roaming around?
Listen, live play-by-play. Make sure you tune in. I see over 3. I believe we have just shy of 3,000 in the chat. Live play-by-play on Friday against the Heat. The Knicks are at Miami. I might have to bring the grill for that game if we win that game because I learned my lesson. So a lot of people have been asking me, JD, where's the grill, man? Where's the grill? Where's the uniform? Where's the chef hat? I learned my lesson. So, but I think if they beat Miami and cap off a week like that, and then they got Boston on Sunday on ESPN, it might be time, man. Because the way they're playing, this team look like they look like they're gonna win 50 games, man. I'm not gonna lie to you. That's what it looks like right now. So let's see.
They're looking great, and I can see CP's in the chat. He just pinned a message at the top of the chat saying, "Trade Ari to the Washington Generals." Woof.
CP says something interesting to us. You know?
Yeah, he did.
I'm gonna wait for him to get on the show so he can defend himself.
Yes, I mean, it's private.
We don't want to put it out.
We'll ask him when he gets on the show. We'll ask him.
Yeah,
we'll ask him.
I want to know if it's real. What he posted, I want to know if it's real.
Yeah, I want to know too.
You know, he's been on the fence all year. He's been saying this, saying that. He doesn't know. Doubting here and there. Yeah. Is CP coming around?
Because he's, he might be coming around. Let's just put it that way. He might be coming around. But we got 3,000 watching live right now. Salute to Knicks Nation for tuning in live. Make sure to get those likes buttons up right now because we only got 555. We got 3,000 in the chat. Come on now. We need more than that. But let's get back to the Discord. Look, JD, Mitch had another double-double tonight, right? There's only one person that we got right now to talk about Mitch getting a double-double. Okay,
get my bulletproof vest ready.
There's the one, the only Cody Glock. Cody, are you there, my man? What's going on? How you feeling today?
Alex, JD, I'm about to spit some tabernacle right now. Let me get this off my chest. Straight and clean. Shout out Manscaped. Average 0 turnover with Manscaped. Got to cut the grass to see the snakes. I supremely take care of the ball. So now I'm gonna tell you this one thing. Are you guys ready for this?
I'm ready. I think we're ready. We're ready.
Okay. I've been trying to tell you guys from the first day I came on KnicksFanTV. I've been trying to tell you guys. Let me tell you something about Michi. Because Michi is not snitching. And if you tell Michi is snitching, he said no. So this is what's happening with Michi right now. 4th straight game. Straight off an injury. Thumb damn near shredded to pulp. Right? He goes out. All the hate. All the saying he's frail. All this and that. All he has to get his timing back. Please. I don't want to hear nothing. Michi, another double-double. And let me point this out. We got the whole starting lineup in double digits tonight. Third straight game with 6 people in double figures for the Knicks. I don't want to hear that Knicks aren't real. Are they real? Or they're realer? They're I don't know, man. No, I'm gonna say another thing. Shout out to the Knicks fans TV AO police, the pause sheriffs out there. Every time I get on here, it's a lot of pauses, and I'm not having none of that. This is Big Mitchie Hive. We rocking with Mitchie. And let me tell you, but I know we got to be rapid fire. Shout out Nikki Pipes. Shout out CP Free Throws. Yo, RJ, that's my little done, man. Put some respect on RJ, man. It's my baby boy, man. Kid, I'll always hold it down for you, baby. Mitchie, our oldest. RJ, our middle child. Obi, our little boy that doesn't know what he's doing right now. But, yo, man. 7 straight, man. 8 straight next game, man. I'm out, man.
And that is the one, the only Cody Guac, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, man. Mitchie ain't no snitchy, JD. I don't know if you know that.
I mean, listen, man. What do you have there? You have Nick Wright with his LeBron love. You have Shannon Sharp, right? You have Draymond Green with his LeBron love, and then you have Cody Glock with Mitchie. I think he's on par with all those other personalities. Oh man. Mitch watches Knicks Fan TV. He posts on the Instagram accounts. I mean, I'm sure Mitch is having some laughs every time he hears Cody Glock on the line. I don't know that Mitch has ever had a bigger fan. So, but Mitch Robinson, man, he's playing well. And Robert Williams, who?
Yeah, who?
Robert Williams, who?
Nick Claxton, who?
Nick Claxton, who? Jared Allen, potential first-round matchup. Let's see how that goes.
Oh, man.
But, in other words, what I'm trying to say with all that is Mitch is showing up against some of these, matchups that people say have similar skill sets to him. And he's outplaying these guys. So, props to Mitch. And hopefully he continues to build off this because, he's 4 double-doubles. Can he make it 5 against Bam? We'll see.
Oh, man. Make it 5 double-doubles against Bam Adebayo? That'd be wild. That will be wild. I mean, if he does that, man, and then you tell me you go back to face Boston, you get another double-double there, we're talking about some serious, improvement from an injury for Mitchell Robinson because that would be insane. Would you put Mitchell Robinson on a defensive team right now?
I mean, I would on his ability, but in terms of if you want me to be objective and you want me to put the whole sample size together this season, I don't think they will, only because of the missed games and his surge is coming very late in the season. This type of production and consistency in that production is coming with only 20 games left. And I think when he was coming into the season, he said, I want to make a defensive team. He has to look at what he's doing now and then say, you know what? I think I found it. I found the consistency. I found my game. Next season, this is from game 1. I'm going to have a great 82 game season. And I think next year he could definitely, enter that conversation. Not only, defensive team, potential defensive player of the year type conversations. He can get into that level as long as he's consistent within the 82 game season.
For sure. And shout out to the rhyme animal himself, Chuck D. Throw a hashtag P into the chat. He gave us 2 super chats, one $20 super chat to start off. He said, let us never forget and always remember who we are, Alex and JD. At this point, we don't want fugazi accolades from outsiders. All national media is waiting for us to fail. Salutes. Keep smashing play-by-play, JD. Keep gaming, Alex. And then we also got another super chat from the rhyme animal himself. $5 super chat. That trivia answer with Dave DeBuscher winning the first 8 after the trade, 68-69. This chemistry seems eerily quite similar, yo. I can't explain it. Ooh, do you
Let me
feel that? Do
let
you
me ask
feel?
you a question, Alex. And,
Mm-hmm.
and b- before I ask you a question, shout out to Edwin Torres. Welcome to the franchise. Welcome to Knicks Fan TV. Thank you for
Anthony
becoming a
Howell as
member.
well for another new channel member too.
Yep. Thank you to the new channel members, and thank you to the current channel members and mods that are here today. Is this team better than 2 years ago?
This team, yeah,
Yeah.
100%. That's not even a question for me. They are
That's
by far better. The talent, everything. It's funny because last season when they got Kemba and Evan Fournier, they wanted to add more scoring, playmaking, so they didn't have to rely on Randall. Obviously, we know how that all ended out. This season, they did that, and not necessarily by going out and getting a lot of guys like they did. It's not just going out and getting someone like Kemba Walker or Evan Fournier. They doubled down on the guys that they had in-house with Emmanuel Quickly, who's become a better playmaker. Quentin Grimes, another guy who's in-house, who's a solid playmaker, right? You went out, your big spending was for Jalen Brunson after you made all those deals for during draft night, so you can open up the cap space to get him. Obviously, he's your numero uno playmaker. Randall's improved as a playmaker this season. All those guys can score in different ways. You know what I mean? So they didn't have to do much to go do that. And then you just add Josh Hart, who's just an energizer bunny, gritty, and it just now has taken it to a whole other level.
Next question.
All right.
This one we may have to wait till the season ends and things of that nature. But so what? Let's get to it. Is this team better than the Knicks tape?
Yeah. Woof. Nah, I'm not gonna go that far. I'm a hold off on that one. All right.
No.
I'm a hold off on that one. As of right now.
You
No.
plead the fifth?
No, I'm not putting the fail. I'm going to say no, like because that team won and went to the second round. I got to see this team go to the second round, man. We're talking about a 54-win team, won the division, went to the second round. Okay, that team was beastly. That team was ahead of its time for 3-point shooting too. So
I wanted that team to play the Heat. I thought we had a chance.
oh man, no, I'm right there.
We matched up so well against them that year. Shumpert on Wade, locking that up. Like we
We had to experience Roy Hibbert in his prime, looking like Hakeem, to just stop us that and then wherever Roy Hibbert went after that, I don't know, but
this team has potential though, because you're saying no now, but if they make it to the second round, because at the end of the day, if the Knicks win a round, like don't get it twisted, the team if they win a round this year. It's likely because they beat the Cavs. I mean, there's a lot of basketball left to play, but whether they're the fourth or the fifth, I'm starting to feel confident that this is where this is headed. And the Cavs, they're going to be a tough matchup, man. The Twin Towers and Mobley, like Julius Randle he's going to have a challenge to quiet the critics because it's not like he's going into round one against, this Nets team.
right.
It's not like he's going to, round one against Sabonis, who he kills. Like he's going up against Evan Mobley. I understand Mobley's a young player. He doesn't have the playoff experience, all that stuff. But defense travels, and that defense is going to be there. So, and then you got Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland. Like if they get past the first round, they're going to be in a conversation of being better than that team.
For sure. But let's go back. Let's get back to the Discord, man. We got another caller on the line. We got Nathan Unknown. I don't know how you're unknown, but Nathan, what's going on?
It was good. Just wanted to say about the playoff run. That third and fourth quarter was looking a little scary for a bit when they started double teaming Jalen.
Mm-hmm.
That's something I definitely think we're gonna have to look out for. And honestly, I'm all for like us getting to the second round, but if we don't, I wouldn't be surprised. It's the lack of a third option. First of all, mad proud of Mitch and IQ. Really got to see them develop. People have been saying like trade RJ Barrett, and like obviously that is something like we should try to do at some point because it's not gonna work. We need that third option. Everyone's saying move for a star, but that contract right now is not movable. It's not looking great. But speaking of development, I say we give it another year. This free agency, a year after this upcoming season is looking really good. Build up his value a little bit more. Let the cohesion of the group settle in a lot more, and that contract begins to look very tradable. And then you could possibly get that start through free agency and then trade for some bench pieces. I honestly think that might be the move that would benefit the team the most. Plus, he's still pretty young, but I swear every time they try to pass him the ball, anxiety. If I see him get blocked one more time for the season, I'm gonna hop out the window on the other direction. It's just getting a bit much. Also, just I love the trades and the exec decisions this season, but I feel like we really messed up with Obi. I feel like Obi is really not that good of an idea for not trading him now. Like he went from scoring 40 at the end of last season, and this season having like a lot of owners wanting him, and now he's playing like 7 minutes a game. I just feel like we really fumbled on that one. But yeah, those are all my comments. Ari, take a break, man. I don't know what you're doing, but it's not working. And yeah,
So
Appreciate-
Nathan, you still there?
yeah.
So you are you sounded like, and I want you to confirm this, you are totally out on RJ Barrett. Is this correct?
I don't think I'm out. I think we would need to stick around a lot longer than we have the time to do. I think he's gonna have some type of Randall development. It's gonna take a while for him to develop, and it's not gonna fit our timeline. That's what I think.
All right. Nathan, appreciate the call. I don't know how I feel about that, man. I feel like I know RJ struggled this season. 22. There's a lot of guys you just see like
they're jumping out the window, man. They're ready to make the move.
They're ready to make the move. That's what it's saying, man. That's what it's saying. It's saying that you see how this team's performing. You see that one piece away. And the position that you have to look at, that's probably the one, is the wing position, right? It's like the most common position that everyone's like looking for, that wing, that versatile player that can guard multiple positions, attack, score, just be a problem to guard on a nightly basis because they got the height, the wingspan, all of that. And you look at RJ, who struggled this season, and we've seen RJ every season, whether it's improved, like you can look at the counting stats, points, rebounds, it usually goes up. And this season, you look at the overall play and it's like, okay, the number's there for points, but when you watch him on the court, the defense isn't there. On nights last season, even years past, you're like, okay, at least he has a good floor game. He's getting some good rebounds. He's playmaking. Sometimes that's not even apparent. But do you think that's just? I get the frustrating part about watching RJ this season, but do you think this is just like he's adapting to a third role, like being that third banana, or is it just that he's got more work to do than we're seeing right now?
I think it's a little bit of everything. He has more work to do because I think that even if let's say this was a tanking team and you had the offense just revolving around him, right? Mm-hmm. Like he's your main point. He's likely going to give you an uptick in statistics, but how much is he actually developing? Like that would be a conversation, right? Like I think he would still need to improve in areas. So the areas of improvement are still there to be had. I also think there's a little bit of pressure because you brought in Jalen Brunson here, and it's kind of like the same thing with Randall, right? Like Leon drafted Obi, and nobody thought Randall would have that type of season. Mm-hmm. And I don't care what anyone says. I don't even think Leon himself, Rick Brunson, maybe Rick Brunson, because he's his father, may be the only guy that saw like this type of play this season. Now you telling me, okay, Brunson's going to go to a team. He's going to have his own team. Year 2 is the year he's going to go into stardom. Okay. But this year already, like this, cooking all NBA defenders like this? Nah. I was looking at 17 to 19 points, maybe 20 points per game, but not like this. Mm-hmm. So Brunson having this type of season, Randall having this type of season, I think has put a little bit of pressure on everyone else to catch up. And there is where it's the dilemma with the front office, because do you go the same route you went with Randall, where you were patient and you said, let's give him another year, right? And to me, ultimately, the RJ conversation with me, it's an off-season topic, because it's funny how this is all happening now. But what if he has a good playoffs this season? We don't know. This thing could flip between Randall not playing well in the playoffs and RJ plays well in the playoffs. So then what's the conversation then about how you continue to add to this roster? So I think the playoffs is going to say a lot. It's going to give you more information moving forward on how you want to, improve the roster. Because obviously when you have Mitch, that's one starter. Brunson, Randall. I mean, there's only so many other areas you can look at, especially if you're going to look to re-sign Hart, on how you're going to improve this roster. So RJ is going to be a key point to that.
For sure. I'm curious to see. We'll have more clarity, in my opinion, how the playoffs unfold, right? And I think if RJ performs, can hold his own, maybe he gets another chance to stick around for another year. Maybe the Knicks are patient, saying, let's give it another year. Let's see what he can do. And if it's not this year, then we'll go for a star afterwards. But let's say he doesn't. You see that he's maybe even holding this team back. I wouldn't be surprised if the front office, because look, they already included him in the deal for Donovan Mitchell. I wouldn't be surprised if they say, you know what? Maybe we have to consider doing it right now, because the way Brunson is playing, the way Randall's playing, and it's not like these guys are old. They're like, Randall's in his prime. Brunson, you could argue, hasn't even hit his prime yet because he's 26. But you could say we got to prepare for the future, and let's see if we can close the gap right now, right? I wouldn't be surprised if the front office is trying to think of that and trying to evaluate towards the end of the season that.
If they went around, Alex, you can if they went around and they go into round 2 against the Celtics and the Knicks take it 6 or 7, and if they take it 6, that 6 game is a competitive game down the wire, to where you look at, man, we could have done this, that in the 4th, and we could have actually won this series. We could have done this, that in the 4th. We could have taken this series to 7. If it gets to that point, this front office is going to have a lot of pressure, because you can't go backwards. You've gone to this point now. It's kind of what Ari said. You got to this point, and we've gotten to the second round, and we were just this close to the Eastern Conference Finals. I mean, how do you improve this team? That's what they're going to have to figure out.
For sure. But let's refresh and now go to our next segment, by the numbers. So let's look at this overall team performance, man, because it was a good performance. I mean, it was just a great outing. I mean, I had a lot of fun just watching it. Everyone was just clicking on all cylinders. Nets couldn't do anything. Couldn't stop a nosebleed, as my guy Bart Scott would say. And when you look at these numbers, man, just pulling up as my computer could refresh in time. You look at these numbers. You got the Knicks shooting 61% from the field tonight. They're shooting 57% from 3. My goodness. The Knicks are just shooting very well from 3 right now, man. It is crazy. On top of that, they what we got here? We got solid offensive. We got a solid rebound performance, 46 to the Nets, 31. Knicks also scored 56 points in the paint to the Nets' 40. But my favorite number, as always, the largest lead was 30, man. Largest lead was 30. What are some of the numbers that you take away from this game, man?
Well, if you could go 2 sides of this. If you want to nitpick, right? If you want to think bigger picture, right? Playoffs, et cetera, big moments. 66% from the free throw line is not going to cut it, right? Now you could look at it. Well, JD was only 10 free throws and they made 6. They shot 21 and made 14. So they missed 7 free throws tonight. Too many, right? Now, on the other end, the Knicks are not a great shooting team. Even after tonight, they're 23rd in the league in field goal and 22nd in the league in 3-point percentage. So the fact that they shot tonight 60% overall is a positive development, because they're going to have to figure out to uptick their efficiency as the competition gets better. And again, the mindset is starting to shift towards playoff thinking, they're going to have to, figure out a way to be more efficient as an offense, even as they're still scoring a lot of points, averaging 115 a game right now. And tonight, 142. I believe that's a season high. So field goal percentage being that high is impressive, and they're going to have to continue to get better at the free throw line.
For sure. Definitely got to get better at the free throw line. I think the other thing that we got to look at is the 28 assists, man. It was good to see the Knicks move the ball the way they did tonight. I thought ball movement was great. Even in the third quarter, when you started to see them slow down on the offensive side, they were still trying to look for an open teammate and try to figure out how they were going to attack. They were just a little too indecisive. So I like the 28 assists. Hopefully they can keep that around that number, because when you get to the playoffs, you're going to need to get everyone involved. And tonight they did that. But as always, this segment is brought to you by Prize Picks. And JD, I don't know about you, but I didn't do too well tonight. I need that CP to 5.5 points. Well, actually, let me rewind back. All right, let me rewind back before I go into the points, because I'm getting a little too ahead of myself just thinking about how bad of a loss it was. For all you out there, make sure to download the app or go to the website Prize Picks, okay? If you don't know how to play, it's pretty simple. You choose 2 to 6 players, and from there, they'll give you some numbers, whether it's points, rebounds, or if it's touchdowns, depending on whatever sport you want to play. It could be the NFL, soccer, golf, you name it. They got you covered over there. You choose 2 to 6 players, and you can mix and match those sports as well, and you can win up to 25 times the money that you put down. You're not competing against anybody else. It's just you against Prize Picks themselves. And you can make entries within 60 seconds or less. It's that easy. You get safe and fast withdrawals. And it's currently operational in over 30 states, including Canada. Now, with that being said, let me get to where I went tonight. Chose Julius Randle for more than 25.5 points. He missed that by getting 21, even though he had a phenomenal game. I then chose RJ Barrett for more than 4 rebounds. Didn't hit on that, only got 2. What I did hit on was Giannis Antetokounmpo, less than 50.5 points, rebounds, and assists. He got 44. I then thought Malcolm Brogdon going against the Cleveland Cavaliers, backcourt with, why am I blanking on the names? Donovan Mitchell and Garland. I'm like, that's not the greatest defensive backcourt possible. Maybe he should be able to get 2 threes. Got none. But then I got Donovan Mitchell getting more than 3.5 free throws made. So I went 2 for 5 tonight. So I'm angry at myself because should have gone in different directions, like maybe Mitch, because they had Mitch at 9.5 for rebounds. He's been on a double-double spree, so I should have gotten that one. Could have at least gotten one more if I went that direction. Or maybe we just need CP to franchise back out there trying to hit a free throw, because that line is at 0.5 still, I see.
I mean, I didn't play tonight. I didn't get the ticket in time, but I'm looking at CP's ticket here, and he might have had a good night. I know he missed on RJ here. He took RJ over 4 rebounds. How many did Randall have tonight? Oh, wait. They look like he had a great night, because he took Randall over 25.5. Randall had 21. Mm-hmm. I don't know how Holiday did. Kevin Durant over 1.5 threes. I thought that was the lock of the night, even though he only had 2 threes. But Kevin Durant had a nice debut. And then he took Brogdon over 1.5 threes, and Brogdon had damn, CP. My bad. I didn't want to tell you a ticket like that. He took Brogdon over 1.5 threes, and Brogdon didn't make a 3 tonight. So pending whatever Holiday did, it looks like, KnicksFanTV did not have a great night on prospects. But make sure you play, and make sure when you do play, you play responsibly.
Yeah. Once it yeah, so not a good night for all of us, but make sure to download the app, go to the website, make sure to play Prize Picks, make sure to use that promo code KFTV. All right, they'll match if you're a first-time user, they'll match up to 100% your deposit, up to $100. Just make sure to use the code KFTV. It's simple to use. Once again, make sure to go have fun and make sure to play responsibly. All right. Now, with that being done, let's get back to the Discord. We got, where is it? We got Motown, New Jersey on the line. Motown, New Jersey. What's your name and where you calling in from?
And with that being
Hey, it's Steve from Morristown, New Jersey, Motown.
Hey, Steve, what's going on, man? How you doing?
Not bad, not much. How you doing?
Doing all right.
Pretty pumped, to be quite honest. But I think we all are. So,
Yeah, we all are.
so yeah, I'm calling in to talk a little bit from perspective, partly because I've been a Knicks fan since the '70s, but I also think I have a solution, another RJ trade, but nevertheless, a solution.
What's the solution?
Let's go.
So I'm thinking here. I'm thinking next year. I'm thinking we got all the chess pieces, but one. We need the king. We need LeBron, and we need him to go out on a note where he takes MSG to the promised land, because that's when he becomes the GOAT and takes over for MJ. You know what I'm saying? That's my thought. But for real, this team, let me tell you why I think it's possible. Because this team, you guys talked about 2013.
Yeah.
That wasn't a team. The teams were in the 90s up to 2000 when we had defense. You all talked about we have a point guard. We got a defense. We got defense up to yazoo. And when you got that kind of setting, a guy like LeBron is going to take notice. So why not RJ and draft picks next year? It's his last year. Come on over to MSG. That's it. Rapid fire. I'm out.
All right, Steve. Appreciate the call. Yeah, I'm not feeling the whole LeBron thing, bro.
I get the story. I get the headlines, the potential storybook ending, and I do agree that if there's any debate left between him and Jordan, I mean, you come to New York and you do it, forget about it. Like, discussion is over, right? I get all that, and I do agree that if in fact it did happen and that happened and all that stuff, yes, like LeBron is old, he's the GOAT. But I mean, do you see how his injuries are starting to pick up?
Yeah, no.
I get that, I get that when he plays, he's still a monster, but the injuries are starting to pick up. He's starting to get hurt a lot easier, and it would just be the Knicks' luck. Wouldn't it be our luck that we make a move like that and LeBron comes and turns into Antonio McDyess?
Dude,
like it would just be our luck. And then he goes off to retirement. Like, that would be the ultimate Nick type of thing.
but the thing is that even if you just the thought process of even going through the LeBron route, right? If you go get LeBron, it's not that you're just getting LeBron. It is everything that comes with LeBron. So it's LeBron's team. It is LeBron's style. It is the team that you see now is just gone. Like
Ronnie James. You might,
Sounds cool.
like those
Sounds
rumors.
great. Sounds like a lot of fun, but no, I wouldn't sign up for that at all. Not at this stage of his career. I mean, look, you just talked about it. He's injured, but look at how this season started for the Lakers. Look at the Lakers' position right now. You know what I mean? And he had a fine team that he was working with. He had Quinn Cook, he had Kyle Kuzma, you had Alex Caruso, right? You had KCP out there with Anthony Davis. That was a team that won the chip, and the next thing you know, he just with Rondo and everything, and it's all torn down, goes back to a different team. I don't need that, man. Don't need to not know who is going to consistently be on this roster year in and year out, outside of two players.
And I know LeBron's a team player and all that other jazz, but at the end of the day, he comes to the Knicks. Bye-bye Brunson handling the ball all the time. Bye-bye quickly. You know what I mean? Like, everything is going to be centered around LeBron James if he comes to the Knicks. So, and you see how that's working out in LA. So I'm good with that. He had a great career. He can, and quite frankly, because he didn't come here when he was supposed to, I'm good. I don't want to see you here.
Yeah, no, I'm good on that as well. I am good on that as well. But, one can always dream. One can always dream about having LeBron James and what could have been, but I am far past that point and not thinking about that. I like the team that we have now. I wouldn't change that for anything else. But let's get to our next caller. Let's go from Jay from East New York. Jay, what's going on, man? How are you doing today?
But y'all can hear me?
Yep, we can hear you, Jay. What's going on?
Listen, man, I'm here to reinvigorate the energy. The Knicks is on a 7-game win streak. We smoked the Nets. We beat up on the Celtics. What are we doing? What are we talking about all of this sad stuff for, man? Yo, we going crazy. Like, we at the top of the East. We in the top 5, about to move into the 4th seed. This is a beautiful night. We spanked I don't even know, whatever Nets. They not from Brooklyn no more. I don't want to hear Brooklyn anything with the Nets, man. Get them out of here. Pack them up. Send them home. Long faces. They crying. Somebody book a clown show in the Barclays. Something. I don't know, man. But, yo, my Knicks won, man. I'm happy. I don't want to hear nothing sad. I don't want to hear nothing about RJ. We winning. We doing good. The team looks good. Everybody is clicking. Let's go, Knicks.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the energy I need tonight. That's the energy I need tonight. Jay from East New York. That's the energy I need.
And speaking of, can we get the standings up? Speaking of, he talked about the 4th seed. And, tonight around the NBA, the Miami Heat, who play the Knicks on Friday night, they lost to the Philadelphia 76ers 119-96. Now, the Heat did beat the Sixers. This is a home and home type of situation where they beat them in Philly, but they lost tonight at home. So the Miami Heat lost tonight. The Knicks beat the Nets. And the Boston Celtics beat the Cleveland Cavaliers tonight 117-113. So that means that your New York Knicks are 1 game back of the loss column, 1.5 in the terms of overall standings, but they're only 1 game back on the loss column to the Cleveland Cavaliers, who have, by the way, lost 4 of the last 5 games. The Miami Heat have lost 6 of the last 7 games, and the Brooklyn Nets have been struggling now since the trade. So those 3 teams are all struggling, and they're struggling at the same time that the New York Knicks are streaking, and the Heat especially, who've lost 6 out of 7. This Friday night game for them, they might be looking at this as a must-win game. So that's why I'm very excited about this game on Friday, on top of the history and the rivalry and blah, 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 and the kind of the clashes of styles, because they kind of play similar like the Knicks. That's what people say. Bam, Jimmy, Randall, RJ. Like, we're going to have some playoff intensity. And as I said, everybody was talking 5th seed, but it looks like the New York Knicks have different plans, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. They definitely do have different plans, but let's keep the Discord going, man. I like this segment because the Knicks they're red hot right now, man. They're just so much fun to watch. But getting back to the Discord, we got Harry Love in Tulum. Harry, what's going on? How are you feeling
what's up,
today?
Alex? What's up, JD? How you guys doing tonight?
Doing well. Are you on speakerphone?
No, my headphones.
Okay. Now it sounds better. What's going on?
Yo, this guy's talking about bringing LeBron. No. Don't be bringing LeBron here now that we're getting our thing going. Coming here, try to take credit in his twilight. Come try to bring the championship to New York. You had your chance. We were ready back in the day. No mas. For real. Forget that. But let me tell you, I'm so happy with my Knicks right now. I love the whole heart effect. This guy is feeding confidence into the youth. I'm gonna tell you right now, I could just tell. That's what Mitch is playing better. IQ, everybody. Hart is doing his thing. Also, RJ needs to go meditate with Randall. For real. Randall went meditated. Now he's passing the ball. Now he's sharing it. He's doing his thing. RJ needs to do that because he's forcing it. He needs to do like Bruce Lee say, be water, my son. Be water. And just do what you got to do. But yo, I'm really loving these Knicks right now. I'm so happy. We got so many good things going for us right now. I was ready to fire Tibbs. I was ready to be out on Randall. And I'm going to tell you, this whole season just turned around. I'm a happy man right now.
For sure, Harry. Appreciate the call. Thank you for calling in.
Thank you.
It's how can you not enjoy how this season's turned around? We went from thinking that Tibbs was going to be fired back in December against the first matchup against the Mavs. Next thing you know, they go on a 8-game winning streak. shorten it to a 9-man rotation. You get ready for another fire tiz moment during the Christmas break. You lose to Philly, you lose to the Mavs, you lose to the Spurs. Next thing you know, they go on another 5-game winning streak. January, they're starting to put it all together. And even when Mitch is out, they're still figuring it out, man. And now with Mitch back, and even before they went on break, they're just starting to look dominant. They're just starting to look dominant against their opponents. It's just so impressive. And this season's just been fun at this point. It's been quite the roller coaster ride, but it's fun to get here. And I'm curious to see how it all ends.
Oof, how it all ends. Let's go. I can't wait. I can't wait to see that happen. To see how it all ends, because it's going to be a different energy. And man, I can't wait, man. I can't wait because, as you mentioned, they're playing. That's just why I want the 4th seed now, because they're playing well. Just like about a week and a half ago, we were talking about, well, should the Knicks aim to get home